Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca, and this is Dreadful. At least that's what I call him. He is an epilepsy awareness bunny from the company Mysterious Dreadfuls, and that's where he got his name as Dreadful. And also because epilepsy is dreadful. I absolutely love his ears. He's the cutest thing ever, and I sleep with him every night. Kind of like a kid. But I wanted to give an update on my condition real quick and just kind of give some thoughts and kind of just vent since I don't get to do that really. I will be starting counseling in like a week or two, and I'm nervous. I've been through so many counselors, and it's like no one understands. And I don't know like what groups, epilepsy groups there are. I don't have Facebook, so I'm not a part of those anymore. I can't find any like support groups around me. It's hard. I feel alone. Even though I know I'm not, I feel alone. And my condition has gotten kind of weird. I was going from having like a seizure to a week, to all of a sudden going like maybe a month without them, and just a cluster of them, just a bunch of grand mals in a row, and then it kind of eases off and then goes back to the clusters again. And this is like a newer thing, and I'm very confused on why it all of a sudden started. My blood work, when they did labs, all came back pretty normal. I mean, my medication levels were really low, which is weird because I had taken my medication. So we don't know what's going on there. Unfortunately, my neurologist, that's all I gotta say about her. she drives me nuts. She doesn't really listen to me, ever. And right now, I am conflicted because I go to see her in, I think, actually 2-3 weeks. And we were going to talk about either turning my VNS implant back on, which is the vagal nerve stimulator, or attempting to do an old medication that I had done in the past, which is kind of risky because all of those past medications that I had been on, I got off for a reason. Most of them were due to like losing a lot of weight, and I mean, I only weigh 100 and something, like I think 120 pounds right now, and I got down on most of those medications. I would get down to like 80 pounds, maybe 90, and so they would take me off of those medications. Well, then there was other medications where I got very violent. I don't remember these times. It is like a complete 6-month blackout period for me of, I guess, my mom said I was just horrible. I was depressed. I was angry at everyone. I would yell. I would hurt people. I don't remember any of it. And that's happened, I think, 2 or 3 times with different medications. I have been diagnosed with, generalized idiopathic without status epilepticus, I think it is. It's a very long name. In other words, medication-resistant epilepsy. That's a simple term. I Don't know why, but every medication that I try, I have the opposite effect and it doesn't work. And this has happened for the past, gonna be going on 13 years now. They don't know what causes that kind of epilepsy. They don't know, like, where to go because I have tried. Well, at least my neurologist says. I have exhausted all of my options when it comes to medication. I've exhausted all of my surgery options because I can't do an RNS because that is for a different type of epilepsy, and a DBS, which is a deep brain stimulator, I refuse to get because I'm not having them drill a hole into my brain, like, while I'm awake. I'm not doing that. So, I tried keto, didn't work. I've tried everything that she asks. I offer opinions, and we're getting nowhere. I think that she just doesn't know what to do, but she also finds me an interesting patient, as she has said. She has said that I am one of her most complicated patients. I don't know if that's because of the type of epilepsy or if that's just because I kind of give her crap about things and I stand my ground. But either way, I need to switch neurologists. I will be doing that in a few months or so. I don't even know when any neurologist can get me in. It's gonna be a nightmare. But back to the status of my epilepsy. I had I would say a major, what I call incident. I don't like to call them seizures necessarily. I don't know why, but it makes me feel, it just makes me sad. So I call them, like, around my son. He's only 6. I call them falls. And this fall, I went down the stairs. And it was terrifying. I don't remember anything. Last thing I remember was taking my medication. I was standing at the top of the stairs, which I know not to do, but I was doing it anyway. And I was just chit-chatting. Next thing I know, I am waking up on the floor in a lot of pain, immense pain. I'm freaking out because I have my husband over me saying, we need to get you to the hospital, we need to get you to a hospital. And I didn't want to go. I was too scared. I didn't know what happened. I didn't even know I had a seizure. And he ended up telling me that, and he still feels bad, and I don't want him to feel bad. He didn't do anything. He didn't hurt me. The seizure hurt me. But he feels responsible because he wasn't able to catch me in time. And I understand that can be very hard because you don't want to see your loved one fall and hit their head. Or in this case, fall down the stairs and completely destroy the left side of their back, spine, and head. So that was fun. I was in the hospital for over 4 hours. I think it was from just before 8 o'clock at night until a little after midnight. I had a bunch of tests done. Everything came back normal. I didn't have any broken bones, so that was good, thankfully. Only thing was, like, I'm just super bruised and swollen, and due to that swelling and the pain, I get very nauseous fast because the pain just hits me, and I have a hard time moving because my muscles start to spasm and contract. So fun. I am slowly getting better. It's been almost a month since that incident happened. I'm taking my time. I've pretty much this whole month have just been taking it easy, trying to get my back, through the healing process as fast as possible, but also not rushing it at the same time, which is very hard because I'm an impatient person. I go to physical therapy starting Monday, so in a couple days. They're gonna help me probably try to get my spine at least a little aligned more than it is, and the fact that my pelvis is kind of off. They don't know if it's because of a fall from a seizure or my scoliosis or from when I was a teenager and I had my pelvis fractured on both sides. They don't know why everything's all, twisty-turvy, but hopefully we can get everything figured out. I would love to not be in pain. My emotion-wise, I just want to cry all the time. And, that's due to the pain. But it's also just that deep depression that I always go into after a fall. Especially one of this magnitude. I go into a dark place for a while, and I don't even know what to say. Like, I always feel like it's my fault. Like, I could have prevented it somehow. Or if I wouldn't have been standing at the top of the stairs, I wouldn't have fallen down them and gotten hurt. Yeah, I probably would have fell, but it wouldn't have been as bad. I always am beating myself up about it, and always just bottling things up constantly and telling myself that this is a disease that you're just gonna have to deal with for the rest of your life and get over it. I was told that by a neurologist in the past that this is a lifelong illness. There is no cure, and I will be on medication for the rest of my life, and we'll just have to deal with it. And hearing that from a neurologist, it broke me. And I think that was years ago, but it broke me. It really made me lose faith in the fact that maybe there would be a cure one day, or maybe medication will work. But ever since that neurologist had said that to me, I kind of lost it. Once again, I felt alone. I felt like there was no way out, that it's just always going to be seizure after seizure. I'm never not going to be in pain. Always on different medications and constantly just stressing over health issues and trying to make compromises, and it's a lot for a person to deal with. And I know there are people with other illnesses that are way worse than mine. I know that. I would say just saying that I'm taking it really hard just because I've always felt like it's my fault that the seizures happened. And it's my fault that, I didn't stand up for myself in the beginning when I first started having them. And then there's the times where I look at my kids and my heart breaks because, I mean, this isn't a proven fact, but it is most likely the medication that I have been on, which is called Onfi. If anyone is looking into that, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it at all. You get addicted to it. It's not a good medication at all. I asked to get off of it because I had found out that I was pregnant with my son. My neurologist would not take me off of it, and my son is he's not like mentally disabled. He's just a little slower at learning things than other kids. He does have speech problems, and just overall he's just he's the odd duck, as I always say. Whereas my almost 2-year-old, I took the same medication when I was pregnant with her. I wanted off of it, but she wouldn't take me off of it. Took it the whole pregnancy, and now my almost 2-year-old, she doesn't talk. She is pretty much a mute, doesn't say anything. I mean, she'll make noises, but she doesn't talk at all. I just feel like it's my fault because I feel like I should have stood my ground, got off the Onfi, and maybe my kids would have had a fighting chance. And I constantly angry at myself for not saying something, or for not just stopping the med myself, because I've done that in the past. I need to start advocating for myself more, which I'm pretty good at standing my ground. I just don't do it in a good fashion. I'm more of get it done now, and if you're not gonna do it, I'll find someone else. And I get very angry and I get very upset, and then I kind of start getting, yelling, kind of frustrated at the neurologist. And I know that's not the greatest thing to do, but when I feel like I'm not being heard, I don't know how to react, and that is my reaction, is to freak out. Because I don't know what's going on. That's why I'm there at a neurologist, is to get help. And I feel like no one's helping me. And it's like, I feel like I'm crying out loud, like I'm asking for help, I'm begging for help, and my neurologists are always just throwing their hands up in the air and being like, well, at least it's only happening once in a while, it could be worse, you could be on more medication, and it's just like, I don't want to be on this many medications as I am now. I don't want to be having the seizures at all. I don't want to have osteoporosis at 27, and scoliosis, and PTSD, and anxiety, and insomnia, and depression, and asthma, and just, I could go on. I have so many illnesses, all somehow relating to a medication I've been on since I was diagnosed with epilepsy. See, I think that's interesting. My neurologist thinks there's no correlation. I definitely think the medication, which is Lamictal or lamotrigine, I've come to the conclusion, at least I've come to the conclusion that has caused a lot of my health problems. And it's not my other medication, just because I've been just put on it. And all of my health problems started prior. And I've been begging and begging to get off Lamictal pretty much since I started it. And no one will listen to me. And now I'm at a dose, and I've been on it so long, my neurologist is like, oh, it'll take years for you to get off. Like, I'm gonna have to be my own freaking neurologist because I know, I don't recommend this. I don't recommend this. Don't listen to me. I have adjusted my medication to where I feel comfortable, and I know I shouldn't do that because I'm not a neurologist. I am not a professional. I'm not a doctor. Don't do it. I've done it a couple times. I've messed up, and it ended badly. Other times I did help myself. And it's one of those things where I was having seizures so bad and so many times, like in a row, that I got to a dark place where I just didn't really care anymore and figured, you know, if something happens to me, it happens. I love my kids. That's who I live for. But before them, I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be here. Straight up. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to deal with health problems. I was tired of it. And I was tired of seeing my friends getting their licenses and getting jobs and continuing school, going to colleges and stuff, and here I am just held back by the fact that I can't get a license. I couldn't get a job. I tried multiple times. They didn't last long because I'd have seizures on the job. I've tried a lot of things to be normal, what I call normal. It just, I'm not normal. I'm unique. I get it. And maybe I do need to suck it up. Maybe. But I don't want other people who have health issues or have epilepsy to have that same mindset. I want to set that example that, yes, you can feel sad about it. You can be mad about it. Have feelings about your epilepsy and other health problems. Feel those feelings. Don't bottle them in. Tell someone. Go to counseling. Do a video. I mean, just vent. You don't want to bottle it up. I've been doing that for years. And it's exhausting. And it's killing me slowly. I can feel it. So please, talk to someone, but also feel those feelings. You may not want to. You may not want to feel the sadness or the anger or just overall frustration. Maybe you just don't want to feel that. I don't want to say suck it up, but I also want to say it's part of the coping process. Dealing with all the emotions and the trauma, you gotta deal with it first. You can't just keep bottling it up. Talk to someone, let them know how you're feeling, get help. I know I should have a long time ago, and I regret it. I feel better now that I am going to be doing that. So, yeah, my advice is get help. Don't bottle your emotions in. You can feel your emotions, which is great. Feel your emotions. Let your mind know, yes, I am frustrated with this, disorder, this disease, but there's nothing I can do about it at this time. And that I need to vent, and I need to get my frustrations, my sadness, the dark places, I need to get it all out. And I need to tell someone. And it'll make you feel so much better. You'll feel that weight lift off your shoulders, even if it's just for a little while. It's better than nothing. It's better than just constantly shoving it all down, because eventually that's gonna blow up. And you're gonna have a freaking moment of self-destruction, which could be anything. I don't know, it could lead to suicide, it could be hurting someone else, it could just be pretty much giving up on yourself. There's a lot of things that could lead up to, and I would rather someone not get hurt. I'd rather people talk to someone and get help. And I just want everyone to remember that you may have epilepsy, and I'm sorry for that car, every night. But I want everyone to know that you may, for the epileptics, sorry, but for the epileptics, that you may have epilepsy, but epilepsy does not have you. And take that with, what you will. I think it's a great quote. I've always loved that one. I hate seize the day for some reason. I just feel like offended for some reason, even though I shouldn't. But definitely remember, epilepsy doesn't have you. You control what happens in your life. From here on out, yes, you can't control the seizures. I get it. But you can control other aspects of your life. And I think you need to just take the reins and roll with it. Take control of your life. Don't let epilepsy destroy you. It's done it to me multiple times, and I don't want it to happen again. That is why I'm getting help. I suggest doing that. I don't want anyone to self-destruct. So please, take the time. Get some friends, get some family, get a counselor, talk. Feel your feelings. No, epilepsy doesn't have you, and that you control your life. And I hope that, my long rant, I hope that it can give you some advice. I hope that maybe you find it interesting and helpful in some way. Just know that I'm here for any of you guys. Just comment, and I'm willing to talk. I would love to have that support system. And if anyone has any questions or just want to talk in general, I'm here. I'm here to listen. I'm here to give advice if needed. Please talk to someone. And remember, my warriors, stay seizure free. Bye, guys.